we've got Noel on and I'm cooking.
Do you know, he comes from just down the road from me. I wonder
Does
if he ever
he?
went to Cheetham. Yeah, he comes from just down the road in Salford.
Does he?
Yeah. I'm going to tell him I'm from Salford too.
He's got a new album out and it's really good.
It's brilliant, darling.
It's
I listened
really
to it.
good.
I felt really pleased to get that.
It's called Council Skies and it's all about exploring his Mancunian roots. Big themes of youthful yearning, unbridled ambition, and in Noel's words, it's going back to the beginning, daydreaming, looking up at the sky and wondering about what life could be. That's as true to me now as it was in the early 90s. The artwork, shot by Kevin Cummins, was photographed on the original centre spot of what was the old Main Road football stadium, which I'm sure you went to, didn't you?
I did.
Home of his beloved
Do you think
City.
I dare tell him that I used to support City
I don't
when
know
I was
if you
7?
should. I think he'll just hate you.
Yeah, he might do. I think I'll keep quiet.
He's doing a massive homecoming gig in Wythenshawe Park in August.
Wythenshawe.
He is probably
He's
the greatest.
a fantastic lyricist.
Oh my! He's unbelievable songwriter.
Yeah.
And I may have called in the help of the biggest Oasis fan that I know.
Well, you've
Felix
got two.
White, too. Jack Pignati and Felix White are the biggest. So I may have called Felix and said, listen, is there anything that you need to ask Noel? And Felix has come up with 2 very good questions, which I will not take credit for. I just have to say,
Well,
I'm not taking
just
credit
wait,
for them.
save it.
I will
darling.
be. Can't wait to. This could go brilliantly or badly because you're United and you used to
I
support
will
City.
not. I
so
will
this
not.
is.
I'm not going to say anything about football.
I'll believe that
Except
when I see
do
it.
want
Okay.
to know if he's ever met Haaland. Haaland is the most astonishing footballer I've ever come across, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, he's met Haaland in his underpants.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
on that note, Noel Gallagher on to his Noel Gallagher, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having
You've
me.
come and we've got you a goat's milk Yorkshire tea, gold.
Don't judge me.
I am a bit
You know,
goat's
I've
milk.
kept my accent, but I've jettisoned my drinking, my milk habits.
And you drink Yorkshire tea.
Yorkshire, yeah. Can't drink anything else. But I bring thousands of those things on tour with me.
Do you?
Bin bags full of it, yeah.
Why do you like goat's milk, darling?
It just happened to be in the fridge once, and my ex-wife was drinking it, and I kind of thought, oh, that's all right. When my kids said, why do you drink goat's milk? And I said, because I'm the greatest of all time.
Oh, that's
know,
very
And I
good.
said, only the best can drink it. And they were like,
Yeah.
what, is that actually? And I was like, yeah, actually. It's only me and Lionel Messi drink it. David Bowie drank it. And John Lennon, I believe.
Oh, so you are. No, you're not. Oh, you're teasing. I'm listening gullibly, thinking, yeah, I can rely on this Manchester person to tell the truth.
Your accent's coming back
He
all
knows.
of a sudden.
He knows Cheetham Hill, Jess.
Of course he fucking does.
Yeah. She does that thing where she says, I'm from Manchester, and then says she's from Salford, which is actually not in Manchester.
It's next to Cheetham. So where my bit is off Leicester. Do you know Leicester Road?
I do, I know it very
Right.
well, yeah.
So I'm at the top of Leicester. Well, that's where my mum used to live.
All right. So what brought you down these neck of the woods?
Love.
It wasn't love at all. I went to university in Birmingham.
All right.
And then everyone wanted to come to London.
I guess, yeah.
It was, and I did social work, and I got a job here.
All right.
And so I went to Manchester High.
Me too.
Which one did you
No,
go
I mean, I
to?
was high.
Very good. So I
Went
went
to Manchester
school
High all
there.
the time, actually.
I've still got friends in Manchester, and I love Manchester.
Yeah. I love going back to see my mum.
Where's your mum living?
She still lives in the same council house that we.
Does she?
Yeah. She lives in a place called Burnage, which is right in the
Oh,
south
it's
side.
posh, is Burnage
No, it
now.
was.
Was
It was. Yeah.
Did you go to Burnage School?
No. I went to a school called St Mark's in Didsbury. I was originally born in Longsight.
Yeah.
Just where Longsight Market is, and then they knocked our houses down to build this new fangled thing called a super. It's called a hypermarket, and it was the new Asda's. And we got moved to this posh part of town, which was called Burnage.
Burnage.
And well, I can assure you it's not posh anymore. And I went to a place called St Mark's in Didsbury.
Are you Catholic?
Yeah, for my sins.
Is that why you went to St Mark's rather than Burnage?
Well, I went to St Mark's
Burnage
because
was a
my
grammar.
parents suggested I might want to go there.
Okay.
You know, I didn't go because I'm a firm believer in Jesus
Was
Christ.
it
No.
strict?
Catholic schools in the
Good
they
education
weren't. They weren't as brutal as probably the 50s, but it was an all boys school, and there was like hundreds in each class, So I bunked off school for 3 months and nobody noticed. And the school was that big that my mum was actually one of the head dinner ladies, and she didn't even notice. And I used to go in just to have dinner.
What were you doing when you were bunking off?
Glue sniffing, doing magic
Okay.
mushrooms.
How old were you?
I would have been 13, 14. And then when she finally got the letter, then I said to her, "We haven't seen Noel for 3 months." And she went, "Well, I've seen him every day." She said, "Well, he can't. We've not seen him for 3 months." And I would just go in for dinner. And then
That was clever, though.
I still think she never really forgave me for that until I appeared on Top of the Pops. And then she was like, "Okay, fair enough."
But were you off playing a guitar at 30? No,
No,
just
I was
doing naughty
getting
things.
drunk, just listening. Actually, listening to a lot of music. So, yeah.
What was great on Glue to listen to? Anything?
These are the hard-hitting questions.
Yeah.
Did they warn you about me?
What music is great on Glue?
Lasagna's coming up.
Well,
in a
I've
minute.
got a Glue. Funnily enough, I've got a Glue playlist that I've made up before. Before I came here. Glue is not or wasn't conducive to listening to music. But what was great on Glue was that you would hallucinate rather vividly
Did you ever write a song about it?
about glue sniffing.
Well,
No, but no. But some of the punks did. No.
Back to food and the dinner and actual food goes.
Was the food good at St. Mark's?
Standard school food. I'm not sure. School food these days.
Well, you went in every day, or was that just
Yeah,
to
but
make
it's-
sure your mum didn't?
Yeah. No,
right.
I wasn't going in because the food was great.
Okay, fine.
I was going in because I was trying to keep the subterfuge going. But standard school food, like everything with chips, and it wasn't as healthy as these things are now. You know, my kids go to school and there's vegan options and vegetarian this and gluten-free that, and I sometimes feel a bit sorry for them. They just want steak, kidney pie, and chips, mashed potatoes, and apple crumble. But it's all got a bit posh these days, hasn't it?
There's a big Catholic school opposite Heaton Park, isn't there?
There is.
Have you ever played at Heaton Park?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I actually went to see the Pope there when he came. Believe
Did
it or
you
not.
go?
Yeah. It was like a massive, great big
Yeah,
deal.
everyone went.
Everybody.
Is
Everyone
that
in
where
Manchester. But it's like the only
But is
celebrity
that where the
that had
Stone
ever
Roses
been.
did their big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Heaton Park.
Did Oasis ever play there?
We did. Yeah, they have a festival on that. I think I might be playing there this year.
Not Park
Yeah.
Life.
So yeah.
Is it called Park Life? It's something.
You didn't-
No, you
Park
wouldn't do
No.
Park
Quite
Life.
dancey. I don't.
No, but they have these festivals on there, and I've played it as a solo artist. And Oasis played a few nights there.
You're
yeah.
doing Wythenshawe.
I'm Wythenshawe Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this August.
I
Yeah.
didn't know they had gigs at Wythenshawe
They don't. This is the
Park.
first one. This is
Really?
the inaugural one. Yeah, they're
That's amazing.
They're gonna do it now in as an annual thing, and
Why
yeah.
aren't you playing at the City Stadium?
because I'm not popular enough.
Oh, bollocks.
Stop.
I'm
All the City supporters would go.
well,
Get
Other
Haaland-
people would
Get,
do.
get Haaland on
well,
bass.
you would hope that they would, but I'm not willing to take that risk, and neither are my promoters. No, I'm not. My High Flying Bird thing is not stadium friendly. It was like arenas is my kind of level, and I don't even like doing
I
arenas.
love that.
Arenas.
Arenas is at my level, sure.
I
Fucking
don't-
hell, I'm just trying to get out of academies.
Jesse,
I'm
you
not-
want to
I-
do an arena?
I don't
Well,
know. Do you like arenas?
No, I don't like them. I prefer theatres. There's more
Do you?
of a vibe with the. I think when you're playing arenas, or this is what I think anyway. I don't know whether I've been tough on myself. Every time I go to see someone in an arena, they've got this larger than life thing, or they interact with the crowd. I've literally got nothing to say apart from the music. So I'm better if I'm in
I
a
think you
theatre. Well, not on things like this, yeah, but not in between songs. I'm not.
Jesse's
I can't be bothered asking everybody
I'm like-
how they're doing.
I'm like
how
Ricky
you
Lane.
doing? Are you some guy in the front going? Actually, I'm not too well at the minute. I'm not, what's wrong? No. I don't. The audience participation thing has yet to reach me. Yeah. I think I'd like to let the
Yeah, I
music do the
think you need a
talking.
gay crowd like Jessie's.
Well, actually, they've limited how much I can speak because I was speaking too much. It was becoming like a chat show.
Really?
So they've
Really?
actually limited it.
You got
so
someone
now-
inside of the stage doing this?
No, I just like the
Jessie
songs
loves
go
it.
into each one, so we make it more like a dance set because otherwise I'd be like, "What's your name? Where'd you come
Yeah.
from?" Yeah. So it's been.
Well,
a problem.
that's how Billy Connolly became a comedian, because he was in a band with the guy that wrote Baker Street, you know, that famous song Baker Street. Jay Rafferty, and they were a folk duo, and Billy Connolly used to do the in-between song patter and he used to tell these stories, and at one point the stories got so long that Jay Rafferty said, I think you want to do your own thing from now on. It was kind of like he was doing like one song and 20 minutes of a funny story from Billy Connolly, and that's how he got to be a stand-up comedian.
Maybe we should go on tour together.
Maybe I should do the music and you should do the chit chat. Yeah,
chatting.
I know.
Well, let's take it back to the beginning. When your mum wasn't doing dinner lady duty, what was she cooking at home, and what's a really memorable dish from your childhood?
Well, I come from a very Irish family.
Is your mum Irish?
Yeah.
But does she speak with an Irish accent?
Good Lord, yes.
Oh, so she's proper Irish.
Oh, yeah. She's as
okay.
Irish as they come, yeah. She is
Okay.
insane. So she's from a family of 11, and she's got 7 sisters, the 7 girls, and 5 of the 7 all moved to Manchester at the same time. They all live in the same council estate within walking distance from each other.
lovely.
And of course, being Irish, they all had about 14 kids each. So it was a big kind of Irish family. So it was all Irish cooking, which is like stews and, I never had a boiled egg until I was 31.
Did you?
That's
did
a
you
true
like?
story.
No,
I was
stop.
on my 30th birthday. Someone said you should try something you've never tried before on my 30th birthday, and I was like, I've never had a boiled egg. And I had boiled egg and soldiers, and I've now eaten eggs.
Do you love
like
them?
they're going out. Yeah, I love them. Yeah, like they're going out. Particularly that point a few years ago when they said, you know what, they don't actually give you cholesterol, and you're like, right.
I'll
Crack
have
on with the
more,
fucking
yeah.
eggs then. I eat eggs every day. Two eggs and 2 slices.
You already
of
had
toast.
eggs then.
I have. Yeah, right.
But it's,
God's sake. Well, okay, you can have another one.
Jesse, he probably didn't fancy what you were cooking and he thought he'd better eat first. I told you.
I gave you 3 options. Maybe
Did you
it
not
didn't
get
come
the-
to
So it
you.
didn't come to me, I'm afraid. No.
Well, don't worry. You've got the lightest option,
Okay.
which is lucky, or you can have a slice of cake.
Well, what are the options?
Well, no, now there isn't one option.
There's only one
because I went ahead and decided.
Yeah, that
It's
was.
quite
Why
light.
did you give 3 options and then made the decision?
Because it's Noel Gallagher, and I was like,
Okay.
I
She's
felt like he'd
supposed
have
to
an
give you
opinion on
3
these kind of
options.
things.
You'd wait till you'd chosen it.
Only
because you
the
didn't.
only the goats
I don't want
get
to start
the,
a family
options.
feud here. I'm only.
No, this is just
Normal.
this is just
Normal.
normal.
I want to know which part of Ireland was your mum from?
She's from a place called County Mayo, which is on the west.
it's
on
supposed
the
to be
west side.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's the Wild West.
Did
out
you
there.
like her cooking?
Growing up, you have nothing to judge it against because it's just when people cook for you. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a big. Even to this day, I'm in my mid-50s now, and I'm not. I like nice food and all that, but I'm not really. I'm not a foodie. Do you know what I mean? I won't go. Oh my God, that was an amazing piece of salmon. You know what I mean? It's kind of food is still a function for me. You're hungry, you eat. You crack on with what you're doing. But I do like going to nice restaurants. But you can't. Your mum's cooking. You can't judge it against anything else. Do you know what I mean?
So, like when Oasis were really getting big, and you were probably being spoiled with the riches of the best restaurants, was that something that you got a bit excited about, or were you like, no,
really.
no?
No, because we got big quite quickly. It kind of blew up quite quickly. We were still the same kind of 5 guys that had been in the rehearsal room the year before, so we were still hanging out in pubs, and we weren't the healthiest or the most sophisticated bunch. I didn't have sushi until I moved to London. I was like, what, raw fish on rice?
I know,
What's that
it's
all
very
about?
odd,
The fucking
isn't it?
that looks
Yeah.
like the inside of a bicycle tire. It's like, no, it's octopus. It's not. Yeah, I've never been that hugely. Funnily enough, I'm not a foodie at all, but I do like watching MasterChef.
Me too.
I love it.
Are you watching it this week?
I watch it. I've got it on series link at home.
Do you like the amateur, or do you like the professionals? Do you watch both?
Why I watch it is the same reason that I used to love watching Top Gear. I can't drive. I've never had a driving lesson. It's not
You're
something.
joking.
I actually, I heard you talking on Zoe Ball
Yeah.
about your driving
Yeah.
lessons, which was just so hysterical.
Well, I've only ever had one, and the woman I was driving around a housing estate in Slough with a Nissan Micra with a big white triangle on the top with a big letter L. And I was thinking, I can't wait to like this is easier past this get a massive fucking Rolls Royce or something. And she said, can you just pull over here, please? And I pulled over onto the curb, and she just unclipped the seatbelt and said, I'll be back in a minute. And she walked into this house and came back out with her mum.
Why?
Because her mum wanted to meet me.
Oh my God, that's so unprofessional.
And at that point, the Slough Comprehensive, the bell went for kicking out time, and all these kids were kind of looking at me sat in this car like an idiot.
With an L on
and then I drove the car back to my house, and I was like, okay, well, I won't be doing that again.
That must have been an awkward drive home.
But anyway, it never stopped me loving Top Gear, which I thought was a great TV program, and I used to love it. And I love like looking at cars, and I think they're amazing. And it's the same with food. I enjoy watching amateurs make it, and it's the kind of thing, when you see these people and they're
So
fucking
clever,
really cooks, you know what I
isn't it?
mean?
I know, I
And I'm
agree.
thinking, I can, because I live on my own, I can cook for myself, right? And
What would you cook? What would you cook?
Oh, just standard chicken, meat, just anything you can
What,
put in an arga.
A roast chicken?
I can do that, yeah, easy.
Are argas a pain in the arse, or are they actually
I don't
quite
know.
easy?
For me, they're quite easy.
Okay.
Is your
Yeah.
kitchen always hot then?
Yes, it is. I don't mind it warm. I like it warm. Everyone,
yeah.
everyone that comes to my
What
house
colour
is like,
what colour's your arga?
black.
Black.
And it is always on, yeah, and it does make the kitchen quite hot, but I like that. But I wouldn't cook for anybody else for fear that I'd poison them, like food poisoning. So I'm good at cooking for me, but anyone else, I'm like, well, I'm gonna have
Do you
to
do
get delivery.
pasta?
I can do pasta.
So you wouldn't, if we were coming round, you just
No,
guys
we'd
were
be.
ordering-
Well, I live in the countryside at the minute, so we'd be going to the King George,
Pub.
the local pub, yeah, which is not bad.
Is
And
it? What's your order there?
fish and chips.
Speaking of fish and chips, now because, and you know this anyway, but Felix White, who from the Maccabees, the biggest Noel Gallagher fan in the world.
Yeah.
And I had to call him yesterday, and I went to school with him. And
Right, no way.
I watched him, I don't know if I've told you this before, but I've watched him and Jack Pignate perform Oasis in the talent show when we were in like
Wow.
year 10, and they dressed up, and he
Wanted
was
to be
Liam,
you.
Jack was Noel, and he adores you, but you know this. But he has some food-related questions,
Okay.
because I was like, listen, we've got the goat coming, and he said, okay, this is the shit that I need to know. Fish and chips, Zabaleta. Did you say something about respecting Zabaleta for having a fish and chips every Friday?
Yeah. Well, so there's this football player. He's from Argentina. He used to play for City, and he lived in Didsbury, I believe, and he used to go to the same chippy every Friday and get fish and chips and queue up with the natives. And it's like, you know what? Respect
Fair
that
dues,
dude for
yeah.
that. Have you ever been to Argentina?
I went recently
Yeah.
It's
to
the
Primavera.
most amazing
Isn't it
country
gorgeous?
on the planet.
I know it's
You
gorgeous.
say this to people and they go, really? And I'm like, I'm telling you, the people,
food.
the people, the vibe. I
Empanada.
love
Crowds.
it. The best gigs you will ever is in Argentina.
I don't know, Sao Paulo was pretty amazing for me.
Well, yeah,
Mexico
but-
City.
Yeah, for me, I've been going to. I first went to Argentina when I was a roadie for a band in the 80s. I first went in 1988, and it was amazing then. And Oasis used to do the craziest gigs there in football stadiums, like the maddest things you'd ever see in your life.
And they jump.
Yeah, and they go bananas. But it's the most amazing country, I've got to have to say. And the
food.
Yeah, vegetarians don't get on too well over there, unfortunately.
No.
But they cook their steak a bit too much.
No, you just have to order it a bit less done.
Jessie, but when you say that to them, they think you're slightly odd not having well done
I
steak.
absolutely love
Do you
it.
really?
like your steak well done?
If I'm cooking it at home, I'll do it for 4.5 minutes.
Well, that's quite rare. It's medium rare.
Quite rare that I'm cooking at home.
Well done. Do you have curry sauce with your chips?
If I'm up in Manchester and have a
Yeah.
chippy, fish chips
Because
and curry.
they don't
yeah.
do curry sauce down here with the chips, do
No, they don't. No, when you say that, all people down there think we just drink pints of gravy. which
Have
is
you
not
had
that
to
far from the
educate
truth.
your children, because they're all Londoners, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
So, like, have you had to educate them about the Mancunian way?
My kids do a very good condescending Mancunian accent. And we're like, all right, Dad.
All right.
And when I take them to the football, they love. So when we go to the City's home games up in Manchester, we'll go in a box and all that. But when we go away, they love going on the terraces with the City fans.
And tried to talk Manc.
No, they just love all the characters and you know.
There's nowhere like Manchester, is there?
Well, it's difficult
For warmth.
Well,
I mean, when you stand at a bus stop, I defy you not to talk to someone.
All right, yeah, but
All right,
Peter,
Cock,
but wouldn't everybody say that about the city that they were born in?
No.
There's
No,
way
London's
quite
no
right.
prick.
Jesse.
Well,
loves Manchester.
London belongs to England. It doesn't really belong to Londoners. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever met anyone from London in London. They're all. Are you actually from London?
Yes,
My kids are born and bred in London, but I think Manchester is. I mean, I love it. There's a lot of funny characters up there, and still to this day, the people
But the
which are
club
make you.
scene was
Oh,
fun. When I
good
grew
Lord,
up,
yeah.
the Twisted Wheel I used to
Oh,
go
yeah,
to,
right, yeah.
which was an amazing place to go to.
Right.
We used to go to Time and Place.
Right.
We used to hang out to see if we could see George Best anywhere.
Were you doing
I used to go to
Hacienda?
George Best's house on a Sunday because
Did you?
do you know he lived in that big glass house?
Yeah.
And people used to go and he lived. So he was like one of the Beatles, right?
Yeah.
And he lived in this big glass house just outside of Manchester. And people used to go for a Sunday day out
To
in
look.
the 70s just to stand at the end of his driveway.
Oh, you weren't getting invited in?
No.
No, you used to stand there
So this
to
is
watch.
like being in like the hills.
Well, it was like this
He was like a
futuristic
god,
glass.
yeah.
It was a futuristic glass box of a house, and you could see him watching TV with Miss World, and people
Miss
just
World.
go. He didn't even, and you
He
could.
was-
yeah,
yeah.
we used to go to his house and just stand there.
Just
and
to
not,
see if you
not
could
as
see
kids. My parents used to take us there, right? And it would be like families would just be stood. Looking up
Just-
the gate, I'd love to see to get a glimpse of George Best, and I'm not a United.
He was
fan.
so handsome as
Okay, he's
well. He
amazing.
was gorgeous, and he had only ever had blonde women.
Yeah.
And his nightclub was called Blondes.
Yeah, top dude.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. He was great.
I'm going to cut some bread. Are
Okay.
you really not fancying eating anything? There's
Oh,
a bit of
that's
asparagus, a fried egg. You don't have to have the fried egg if you don't want. You could just have the tahini and asparagus. And
Go on
some
then, I'll have
cake.
that then. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have some
I'll be so
asparagus.
sad
do
if you
that.
don't
Yeah,
eat it.
no, I won't.
I'm looking at the most beautiful ring on your finger that looks
Oh.
slightly papal.
Well,
Tell me about it.
so when you leave school in America, you get
You get a ring like
you get
that.
a ring like it's just like a college ring, like, whereas we get a kick in the arse and a certificate that no one ever keeps. And I bought that in a pawn shop in Tokyo in the 90s, and I didn't think anything of it until the internet was invented and Googled it, and it's like it's given to somebody in Ruston. I think you get to design your own ring when you leave. So this guy, I think his name was Dwayne,
Oh, it's got Dwayne on it.
and I think he played number 20 for the football team.
Oh my gosh.
And the football team were called the Bearcats, and it's from Ruston High in Mississippi, I believe.
Poor soul. Wonder why he gave it
Well,
away. Have
well,
you
it-
seen
Thought
it?
about finding him and giving it back.
No, but I'll tell you a funny story. The fact that he was in Tokyo would suggest that he'd probably joined the army, and he was stationed in Tokyo, and he
he
kind
was
of pawned it
stationed
for a prostitute or something. But one afternoon, I was sat in an airport lounge in America somewhere, and I was a bit hungover, and a guy dressed in the desert camouflage fatigues, and he said, "Where'd you get the ring from, buddy?" And I was a little bit pissed, and I started talking back in an American accent, and I was like, Ruston High, and he went, "I went to Ruston High," and I was like, "Fuck." And I went, "Fuck shit," and he was going, when you go Bearcats, where'd you go to Ruston? I was like, "Oh yeah, like are you fucking there?" And I started to sweat, and I was like, "Please call the flight now," you know. And luckily the flight was called. And honestly, I was dripping. I was like, "Fuck shit, man!" And he was like, "Where'd you go?" "Hey, go Bearcats, man. You don't look old enough." And I was like, "You know, fucking Billy Bob shit, man."
Oh my God, crikey.
Yeah, it was one of the most stressful events of my entire life, because he was clearly on his way back from, you know, trashing the Middle East, and he was probably going to be in a bad mood, you know. And I was like, "Fucking hell, yeah, terrifying."
Do you go to America often?
I do. I'm going in a few weeks. Yeah, start
you?
my tour there. Yeah,
You're starting your tour there?
yeah.
When does your album actually come out?
June the 2nd.
June. Oh, so
You're a
that's-
professional at this, isn't she?
No.
Seamlessly sliding into plugging
We
my
listened
record.
to
Then.
the album.
Do you want,
We
do you
both
want some
think it's
water or
wonderful.
juice or?
I'll take some water. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Do you know what? The older that I've got, the more I've grown to love America. I used to hate it when I was younger, because there was too many rules. It was like, you know, you can't do this here, and this shuts at this time, and you can't smoke that there, and all that. But you kind of get to your mid-30s and you go, fucking what? Oh, it's like the pace of this life and the fucking avocados on toast, 2 in the afternoon.
So we ask everyone, if you were going onto a desert, not something sinister, if you're going to a desert island for 6 months, what meal would you have before you went?
Before I went,
Yeah.
what's my favourite meal?
You've got starter, main, pudding,
All right.
drink.
Starter, do like a bit of squid for starters.
Do you?
Yeah. It would be something
Grilled or...
No, you know when they deep fry it.
Oh, you like calamari?
Yeah.
Oh, me too, I
But
love
not
it.
just like not Italian calamari when they kind of do it.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah.
I love that,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you like a dip with that? Do you like a garlicky mayonnaise, or do you just
No,
like
not
it with
mayonnaise.
just...
The chili dip would be the
chili, okay.
would be the best one. And for a main course, what would I have? I don't know. I'm like I say, I'm not really.
What did you have last night for your dinner?
Oh, I had pizza.
Do you like pizza?
Love it.
Okay.
There's a pizza restaurant in Maida Vale called the Red Pepper, which is, I swear to you now, it's the best pizza in. Well, obviously, I won't say in the
Which
world.
road is it on?
Formosa Street.
Oh, I know.
Do you really?
I was in Maida Vale last night, actually.
Oh, right,
Went
sweet.
with some friends on Clifton Gardens. I love Maida Vale.
Yeah, it's great. I've lived around there for quite a while.
Gorgeous,
yeah, it's
isn't
brilliant,
it? There's like a little Greek Turkish restaurant up a little side street I've been to.
A really good Greek restaurant in Maida Vale.
Yeah, it's up a little side street
Oh, right, okay.
on the other side of Warwick Avenue.
Oh, okay. There's a great sushi place up there called Sushi Murasaki, which I'm going to tonight, I believe, with my
Are you?
kids. Yeah.
How many children have you got?
I've
I should know.
3.
3.
Yeah.
Are they all big
And
grown-ups?
I saw one of them, your beautiful, I think she's your eldest daughter. She was
Yeah.
taking photos of you.
Yeah,
at
that's right.
Glastonbury last year.
Yeah. She's 23. She's amazing. And then I've got an eldest lad is 16 this year, and then my youngest little boy, the legend, is 13 this year.
30.
I know, they're amazing. Oh, they really are. They're the funniest. The two guys are like a comedy double act. Their entire meaning of their life is for one of them to try and get the other one into trouble. That's all they live for. That's all they live for. And it's tit for tat. So tonight when I see them, they'll be, so, ask Dee about what happened at school today. And,
Oh my God.
But they are amazing, funny kids.
Did we get the Last Supper? So we've got calamari.
Yeah, he's only got to calamari.
It may need some salt, and I will not be offended. All right?
Have you got salt,
Yeah, I've got
darling?
it here.
So what would I have? Probably steak and chips, actually.
I knew you were going to say that.
Did you? Well,
Just
I didn't
knew
know
it.
I was going to say that.
But
How
I
did you
knew
know
it.
was
I
gonna say
felt it.
that? Right. Yeah, steak and chips, and then for dessert, apple crumble.
Apple
Who makes the best
crumble.
apple crumble?
Actually, the school dinner's
Yeah.
apple crumble.
The puddings were always good, weren't they?
and the
Cake and custard.
yeah, the custard and that pretty spectacular, I have to say.
Okay, so and then what drink
what are
of
you
choice?
drinking?
You having beer? You having wine? You big into? Do you drink?
I'm big into alcohol, yeah. Well, I'm Irish, so it's kind of a prerequisite for living. If I'm going out, I will always drink beer. Always. Exclusively.
What
If I'm-
sort of beer?
Peroni. Well, whatever they've got. Just lager.
You like lager?
If I'm staying in, like this weekend, for instance,
Yeah.
is one of my favourite weekends of the year
Why?
because it's the Eurovision Song Contest.
I didn't know that you were a big Eurovision fan.
God, I fucking love just getting pissed and watching the utter insanity of
know.
Eurovision. It's insane. I love it. And
Why didn't you go?
I wouldn't go to it. I just want to watch it in private and just laugh my bollocks off. It's just
Are
like
you laughing at them, or are you kind of enjoying the...
I'm laughing at them.
Oh, you arsehole.
Yeah.
Why?
Just like, look,
It's fun, Jessie.
Kazakhstani rap. Really?
No, you should wait for the finish. They've got this cha-cha-cha.
Oh, God, I can't love it.
And he says cha-cha-cha like 78 times.
Brilliant.
And it sounds kind of like he's Darth Vader, and he's going, and he's rapping with a cha-cha-cha. You're going to love it.
Brilliant. And I love the earnest tunes as well, the We Are the World ones.
Yeah.
I love that kind of thing. But the Eurovision Song Contest, it's far out. I remember watching it.
When you were little.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
I used
Remember
to
when
sit
watching-
and score it with my father
Oh, really?
and mother.
Really?
We all sit round there. And Miss World.
Right, yeah,
to my-
remember when
yeah.
Miss World was a thing? It was on telly on Saturday night, and your dad would watch it. Sheeda, I've seen better than her down the pub. You know, that's like, what pub are you going to? But no, I do like Eurovision Song Contest. I'll stay in and get a bit.
But please tell me somebody else is going to be
Yeah,
drinking
I'm
with
gonna
you,
be
and
a
you're
bit
going to maybe you should
worried.
get the kids round and start doing a tally thing and do a little.
I'm not going to be sitting there maudling, drinking. There'll be someone else. There'll be a few people there. Don't worry about that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But no, I love it. I remember watching it the year when I don't really remember this, but some Finnish guys. It was like a black metal group, and they were dressed as they all dressed in like they were like dressed in.
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
They're called Lordi, and I was sat watching it, and I was a bit stoned, right? And I was thinking, what the fuck is this? And then they won it, right? Because obviously people were voting to take the piss. And ever since then, I was like, this is essential viewing on a Saturday night.
Now these are two questions from Felix White. What a life it would be if you could come for mine for tea. Pick you up at 3:30. We'll have lasagna.
Yeah.
Who was cooking lasagna?
So that song came about. At the time we were hanging out in Liverpool. We were hanging out with this band called The Real People. We had this crazy cousin, and his name was Diggsy. We were just jamming in their rehearsal room one night. He got up on the mic, and we were all playing one chord. And he started to sing this thing, went round and round, and I can't remember the tune, but the lyrics went, what did you have for your tea tonight? I had lasagna. I had lasagna. I mean, it sounds really, really ridiculous. And then I was just stuck with me, and I had this tune, and it just seemed to fit. And it was one of those songs when you play it to the band, and they go, really?
Okay.
Lasagna? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I could, I'm fucking singing that. Fucking lasagna.
He fucking sung it. Though.
I fucking right. Yeah, it was just born out of this crazy guy, Diggsy's bizarre mind. Yeah.
Strawberry lemonade.
Well, yeah, it was a thing from that drink,
That was
Snapple, wasn't it?
Oh,
Snapple.
Wow, you've
They
really, did
don't
you
call
realise?
it
that?
I loved
Snapple
the peach
anymore.
iced tea.
And
It was really big in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I was with this girl at the time who only drank this strawberry lemonade thing. And that old song Talk Tonight is quite an autobiographical tale of a weekend I spent with this girl in San Francisco. And all she drank was strawberry lemonade.
Did that put you off her, or was it kind of like you were like, sure, she tastes sweet?
Well, it didn't put me off. No. I mean, I got a song out of it, so, that's the main thing. I got a great song out of it, and I'll be playing that song on tour this year, so.
Oh, well, everyone will be happy because it's like it was a B-side, wasn't it? Or...
Yeah, all my best songs I gave away as B-sides, like a fool. Yeah.
But no, I don't. But it's catalogue. You've got so much. You can now do that.
No, of course, but at the time, I had this period from like 1993 till 1996, where every song that I wrote became really famous. But if I could go back in time now, I would keep all those great B-sides and turn it into a proper album. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Why can't you do it now?
No, we did. We put a B-side album out. What I'm saying is, at the time, it would have made a colossal third album. But of course, when you're young and you're on the way up, you're just like thinking, well, this is never going to dry up. This is going to be amazing. And I would write these songs, and nobody at the record label, because we were on an indie record label, and everyone was a bit mad. Nobody had the wherewithal to say, that's a bit good for a B-side. They were just like, yeah, fucking, that's brilliant. I mean, yeah, it's a bit over the top to say we gave them away, because they have, I still play them, so they didn't go to waste. But it would have been nice if they were on some kind of official album.
What's your favourite song to perform of all your songs?
Well, it's always
At
new
the
ones.
moment.
It's always new ones.
Okay.
I do. Actually, a song I've never ever gone off is "Don't Look Back in Anger" because it elicits. I mean, it's such a hymn now, and it means so
Yeah.
much to so many people all around the world. I've never gone off that one. But songs, as Jessie will tell you, you have a moment with them, and then you just got to let them go. And people will come up to you and say, "Oh, why didn't you play this song?" And it's like, it's gone now. You know what I mean? It's like a child that's left home, and that's it. It's grown up and it's got married and it's fucked off. Thank God. And but the ones that you enjoy are the new ones because it's new for you, and
it's
then you
exciting,
get a couple of years out of them. So at the moment, I'm enjoying all the new ones, and but Don't Look Back in Anger. If you've got that one song, if you'd only written that one song for the rest of your life, you'd be doing all right. Do you know what I mean? It's
You
kind
would,
of
definitely.
It's but without it being, it's an extraordinary piece of music without it being technically an extraordinary song. But I think that's the appeal of it. Is like guys who are amateur guitar players can sit and play it and sing it.
Is it hard though to have made that? Do you have to kind of put it, like lock it away, knowing that you've got that song that will live on forever?
You got to let it go.
And then you got to let it go. But like when you're writing, and then you're not trying to better that.
You have to let it go, and you have to accept that
It was a moment.
It was a moment in time, and
Yeah.
thank God you had that moment. And you have to let it go, and then don't.
Where did you write it?
I wrote it in Paris.
You were in Paris.
Yeah, and I don't even remember writing it. We were on tour in 94, 95, and we'd been out. Well, I often wonder because I woke up we'd been out on a really boozy night out, and I woke up the next day, and there it was written down. Not all of it, but like the outline of it, and I'd had the chords, and no idea who Sally is, but we'd been at a strip club that night, and now let me quantify that. We'd done a gig that then turned into a strip club.
Okay.
We weren't
It
like,
doesn't matter. I don't get shocked.
You're not a stripper, are you?
No, I'm not a stripper and I don't get shocked.
Right.
She wants to know more. She'll be at the strip club with you
please.
next time.
Yeah.
There's still time.
Okay.
There's still time.
Yeah.
You know, the internet is full
After
of many
where
magical
are we
things.
going after Withings Shop?
And I don't know who Sally is, and I don't know what I don't.
Must have
I
given you a good dance.
I've never met a stripper called Sally. They're always called Emmanuel and shit like that, aren't they?
Yeah, there was
So
a
my
whole
friends tell me.
film series called Emmanuel.
And yeah, so you've got to let that go and accept that.
But it's constantly being revived. Because do you remember after the Manchester bombing?
Yeah. And then
people spontaneously
Well, yeah, and
started to sing
even
it.
when they.
I'm talking about the writing, like of
Okay.
writing and going back in. It's like
Yeah, you have to accept that other people think that's your peak moment. I don't necessarily think that.
no.
And
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no, I know. And if you thought that, you'd never write another song after Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger. Why would you bother, right? But to me, I've written better songs than Don't Look Back in Anger. I think. I think there's a track on this album called Dead to the World is superior to both of them. But then ask me in 10 years' time.
Is that the one that says about the heavy hands?
No, that's easy now. It's the real orchestral one. It's got no drums on it. It's,
Yes.
Called Dead to the World. Yeah, it's my favourite song on the album. But I've worked out what songwriting is. You know, you're just it's a constant transient thing, and you're picking up influences and then just dropping. You're just dropping little bombs along the road of life, and then that's it. And then but some people get it, and some people don't. They don't make the songs any less or more. You know, it's kind of if it's turning you on, then that has to be enough. I wouldn't. Any people that write songs for streams or clicks or to sell records, they're not in it for the right reasons.
No,
you know, you've got it. There's got to be. You know, if one person comes up to you 12 years after you wrote a song that no one's interested in and says, that song, that's it, that'll do.
It meant a
you know,
lot, yeah.
It meant a lot to someone. It doesn't have to mean everything to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just. But you know, everybody.
But you're still so ambitious, and I think that's really you're prolific. Like you put out work all the time.
I don't have any other interests. I don't drive. You know, I don't collect.
You don't play golf?
I can't swim. I don't collect anything. I'm not an avid art collector. I'm not passionate about you know.
You've got your kids.
No, but that goes without saying.
Yeah.
You know, there's like rock stars usually get other interests, and that's why they take
You're
their
not
foot
going to
off the
have a
gas.
vineyard or...
No, I'm not. I'm just not. I'm obsessed with writing.
music.
Yeah, and the more I do it, the more I want to do it. And in that's why in lockdown I wrote 3 albums, like I have 34 songs, completed 34 songs, which is going to last me now. I have to stop writing now because I've got to record them all now. And it's the thing that gives me, apart from my kids, which goes without saying, it's the thing that gives me the greatest sense of worth and your place in life. Do you know what I mean? This is what I do and I love it and I never take it for granted, and I do a bit every day. I'm not the kind of person that sits down and says, right, from May until thing I shall write a new album and it shall be about this. I chip away every day and just finish one song off and then have a look at another one.
Where did you learn guitar?
Well,
You're completely self-taught.
yeah, I've never had a musical lesson, yeah.
Can you read music now?
No, I don't know anyone that can. I don't know
No,
anyone
Jessie.
that can. Can you?
No,
No,
I
no.
can't. I also like. That's the thing that I'm trying to do for my kids. I'm not trying to. Actually, I'm interested what you. I don't want to ram lessons down my kids' throat, but I want them to feel like
Well, I tell you what,
they should have an instrument, because I wished I'd had an instrument.
tell
It
you what,
makes me feel very inadequate in the studio.
Well, I tell you what I did for all of them, and 1 out of the 3 got it. So I just left instruments around the house.
Yeah.
So I just left little toy keyboards in the bedrooms and little guitars, and 2 of them are not into it, but the youngest lad kind of he was like me. How I got it, because I just like, right, how I got into it was this. My dad was a country and western DJ in the Irish social clubs around Manchester.
Was he?
Yeah. And I don't know whether he won this guitar at a game of cards. I don't know what happened, but this guitar appeared in our house, and he couldn't play it. And when I used to get grounded for not going to school and all that kind of thing, glue
Took your
sniffing,
guitar away.
and I took this guitar upstairs into my bedroom, and I started to play Joy Division bass lines. That's how and then some local
bass
kids older hippie brother kind of came round and said, "Oh, my brother can tune that," and tuned it up. And I was just into it.
You still got that guitar?
No, I've still got a couple of early ones, but so when going, oh, you should teach the kids, and I was like, well, I was never taught, but how I think if you force kids an instrument upon them, kids like to rebel against their parents. Like, I'm not doing that. Whereas I'm still into it now, and I think it's because I went to it.
Working with family, though, I mean, you've had the experience, of course, with Oasis. I work with Mum in a different way. It's a bit less rock and roll,
Darling.
apart from when we've done our sold-out show in Bridgewater Hall. But yeah, do you still appreciate that, the romance of having, a sibling and a family involved in that journey up?
Well, it's your greatest strength and your greatest weakness. The greatest strength, because when 2 family members sing together, it's like an instrument that you can't buy, so immediately it becomes recognisable on the radio, and you've got great rapport and connection with it, and and it made Oasis what it was. By the same rule, it was its Achilles heel that eventually broke the band up, because you can push each other's buttons and you tend to revel in it.
Did it upset your mum when you had the big fallout?
No, my mum, everyone says this to me about my mum, and it's like, journalists, getting the band back together, they make your mum happy. It's like, I'm 55. Do you think I give a shit about what my mum's got to say about anything now? It's just like, she couldn't even control me when I was 14. Like, I've got 3 kids and a fucking cat, you know what I mean?
What's your cat called?
Boots doesn't live with me anymore, sadly, but he was a handsome boy.
Do you think you'd get another cat or a dog?
Maybe me. I like other people's dogs. My mates have got dogs and they're great, but they're just like children. I'd rather have another baby than a dog.
Do you think you might have another baby?
Absolutely not.
Are you sure?
No, absolutely
But you
not.
might meet someone who's younger who wants a
I don't
baby.
like I don't like younger people.
Don't you?
Lenny's available.
I'm free.
Oh yeah, yeah, but she's not into stripping, so it's not going to work, I'm afraid.
Who knows?
Do you want another cup of tea to go with your cake?
No, I'm okay. I'll have a spoon though if you've got a
Yes,
spoon.
of course, I've got a
Thank you very
spoon.
much.
I have to say, I'm the shittest at making cakes.
This looks
but this
great.
Oh, no,
looks,
it's pretty good.
in the words of
Do you want
Rick
some?
Astley,
Jessie,
when-
do you want some cream, darling?
it's not cream, it's Greek yogurt.
And what's the other one?
Creme fraiche that may be off. Hold on. No, it looks all right. Do you want a bit of creme fraiche, or is it
No
all right?
thanks. No, I've
Come
got to
on.
go
Can I
sing
have
now
a
for 2
spoon,
hours.
Jess?
Yeah, I think we rehearsed at the same spot.
FOMO.
SW19.
Oh no, that place
You're-
in Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to. We're in North London. at the
There was
minute.
like a beautiful moment that you were rehearsing, and Don't Look Back in Anger was just, I think you were just playing, and
Oh,
we were
wow.
just in the other room, and it just sounded
Oh
stunning.
wow. Oh, it was when I was doing it acoustically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
No, it's a pleasure.
Would you have to perform that when you're at a concert?
Well, the way
if you didn't, everyone
the way
would be...
the way I look at putting together set lists is this. I always think, right, the person that I'm playing for is the person that's coming to see me for the first time. So they're going to want, if I'm going to see one of my favourite artists, Bob Dylan or whatever, for the first time, I would think, right, I'd like him to play this,
Yeah.
this and this. And if he did play that, that would be amazing, but I'm not too interested in that. So that's the way I look at it. It's like,
Give them the hits.
it's like there's a deal that you have to have with your audience. When you've been going for so long and I've written so many songs, it's like, I'll get to what you want to hear in a bit.
But let
But let me do my thing for me first.
Yeah.
And so if I don't play Half the World Away and Don't Look Back in Anger, I'd be in the crowd going, well, why didn't you play those songs? So those two are pretty much a given. And then there'll be some more obscure Oasis stuff for people who've seen me a few times who are just like, right, well, I don't need to hear that again. Do you know what I mean? And then there'll be the new stuff is for me, and then there's the bit in the middle where you just kind of keep it a bit loose.
I need to know if your children are stealing your clothes. Yeah. The relics.
Not well.
Would you let them?
See, what I do every few months is I'll just give them all to charity every maybe 6 months a
So
year.
some of that Umbro, Kappa,
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
that is
Yeah.
in a local charity shop in Buckinghamshire.
The
selfless
Dr. Bernardo's in Marylebone unwittingly had quite a lot of Oasis clothes and just I didn't have to make a big deal of it. It's just like go and plonk these on the
Stone
doorstep.
Island, all of it.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a day goes by when I see a photograph and go, oh, why did I give that away?
Really?
Why did I give that away? There's some fucking idiot. But you know,
Or
if
some
you-
really happy person.
Yeah, no, but if you make a big deal of it, people will just buy it and put it on eBay. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
so every kind of 6 months a year, your wardrobe will be bursting. You'll be like, right, it's got to go. And
Is there anything you have kept for sentimental reasons?
no, I'm not sentimental. No, I know I get rid of it. I do have these moments of madness every 12 months, 6 months, where I go, right, done. I'll go down to my lockup looking for something and go, this is junk, fucking get rid of it. Incinerate it all. And everyone will be like, whoa, hang on a minute, it's fucking what? This is kind of the stage set from such and such thing. But I don't hold on to the past.
Do you
I don't
not
think
have one treasured possession like someone gave you or something that you've got on the wall?
Maybe
or...
it's that ring. I don't
this,
know.
yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd be. And this bracelet I bought
That's
on my
gorgeous.
travels. If I'd lost these two, I would be extremely unhappy because you wear them every day and they become part of you. A treasured
What
possession.
have you got written on there? Nothing.
Nothing, no.
Just heavy
Yeah.
and gold.
If I guitars, yes, I hold on to guitars because I've written songs on them, and my kids should have them, or they should go into some place where people can either look at them. I don't know, but those kind of things, I would hold on. Yeah, I don't sell guitars I've written big songs on
It's all,
because
it's all about the music
yeah,
for you, and
it's
that's the romance
yeah,
for you.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
sentimentality.
Treasured possessions. I lost a pillow once on fucking tour, and I was devastated. I bring my own pillow on tour. Do you bring a pillow on tour?
Yes.
I do. I can't.
I hate tour buses so much.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so bad on them.
And I lost a pillow once on tour. It came out. Suitcase arrived back from America, and there was a pillow missing and a leather jacket. And I was like, the leather jacket I can understand. Who's fucking stealing pillows at Heathrow Airport? You callous fuckers.
I know, I agree.
I know there'd be some fucking.
What kind of pillow was it?
It was
Feather,
it was
down?
just my pillow. Do you know what I mean? I can
Yeah.
sleep in any trashy, horrible beds, but as long as I've got my pillow.
So they're not going to be doing an exhibition like David Bowie's exhibition
you
of
see
your
that? It's
clothes.
really
I
good.
did,
and
yeah,
things.
yeah. I went to the. I didn't even go to the Oasis one. I went to the Bowie one and the Pink Floyd one, and the Bowie one was great. It was fascinating seeing the lawyer's letter where he changed his name officially from David Jones to David Bowie.
Some of those clothes could have been at V&A. No. You don't give a
He wants
shit.
to look at a lot of cagoules.
Cool.
I mean, you've got David Bowie, the Japanese designers, and this, that, and the other, and look at this parka. Look at this Kangol hat. It's fucking
Parker.
mega. Oh, do you know what I really loved? I really loved the Adidas trainer section. That was amazing.
Are you pals with your brother, our kid?
No, we don't.
Mum,
No.
Still.
Oh, for God's sake, Mum really did
I
the
thought
research.
that I thought you. He definitely makes overtures towards you constantly.
Yeah, well, then he should stop slagging me off on the internet, then, shouldn't he?
Does
do
he?
you follow him on Twitter,
No,
Mum? Oh.
but whenever I've heard him speak, he's always saying we're getting back together.
That's because he's
I'm
insane.
Oh right, okay, fine, all right. But you talk when you refer to our kid, it sounds quite affectionate.
Yeah, but that's
and
what
fond.
as you know, that's the way we speak up north. But
Yeah,
I've got really
okay.
fond memories of the Oasis thing and all that, and it would have to take an extraordinary chain of events for it to happen again. But I'm really happy with what I'm doing. I love it, and I love going at my own pace. The thing when you're in a band,
yeah.
it's a compromise with all the other people. So everybody's got to have their own little bit and feel worth. Because I was the sole songwriter,
Yeah,
it was difficult for the other four guys. You know, this band was Lord is the big thing, and they didn't really have any creative input into it because I was so prolific at writing the songs. So when you're in a band situation, you have to compromise. And with what I'm doing now, I can do it. If I want to take 5 years off at the end of this tour, I'll do it. Whereas
like marriage, really, isn't it?
Yeah, when in a band thing, it's a sea of moving parts that you've all got to keep the plate spinning. And that exhausted me in the end, which is why in the end it was just like, it's time for me to quit. There was just too many plates spinning, and you're trying to put one fire out and then there's another one going off. I think when you're in your 20s and 30s, it's amazing because you've got the energy to do it. Whereas when you get older, you're just like, I've got my kids now,
fuck
and
it,
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, fuck it, I can't be arsed.
Do you find the idea of maybe because they're a bit older? But how old is your youngest?
13.
Do you find it when you're thinking? And this is a kind of selfish question, but do you think about the tours and think, I can't be away for that long, or do you feel like they're so used to?
Well, so I got back off my last tour in 2019, and I'd been away more or less. I've been on the road since 2015, and not all the time. I've
Yeah,
been back
but
and
back
had
and
months
forth.
off and that. But when I remember, I remember going away, and I had 2 baby sons. And when I got back in 2019, the eldest opened the door and he had a tash, and he called me bruv.
Oh, stop it!
And I was like, yes, mate. And he went, yes, bruv. And I was like, bruv? You fucking bruv. You fucking dad. He referred to me as dad. He was like, yo, bruv. I said, yo, Pops is back. I was like, who's this guy with the tash? And then
COVID happened.
And then it's like, right, I was always going to take till this time off. And of course, pandemic happened and COVID and things got a bit tricky.
Where did you spend lockdown?
Well, we just I don't know whether I thought at the time it's maybe not the greatest life decision we'd made. Just before the pandemic, we decided we were going to move out of London, and we were in Hampshire, and of course it was a twofold thing out there where you didn't feel like you're in a pandemic because in the middle of the country you never see anyone from day to day anyway, but then you're kind of, you're there and that's it. And
Yeah.
you can't dip into London for a couple of nights and you can't see your mates and
You're locked in.
Yeah. So it was a tricky time for everybody, but I was out there. It was just horrible. I mean, the only good thing that came out was which I wrote a lot of music, which
How good were you at homeschooling?
dreadful.
Did you?
Dreadful. I remember my lad was like, Dad, where's the Philippines? He shouted as he's in his underpants, right, at the one end of the table. And I was like, Google it. Right? Google it. And when we looked at his Google search, he'd Googled in, where the fuck are the Philippines? He was about 11 at the time. And I was like, this kid is he's a prodigy. Where the fuck are the Philippines?
Before you go off to do rehearsals for the tour,
Do you want another piece of cake?
No, thanks, I'm
would
fine.
you like one for later for that
No,
afternoon
no,
kind
no.
of pick me up?
No, I'm fine. I'll have an apple in the afternoon.
You're a bit healthy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not, like I say, I don't eat a great deal. I kind of have a big breakfast and whatever I want done. During the day, I usually skip lunch and crack on doing what I'm doing, but a pink lady apple is my thing.
I love. Do you know they're really good for you? They lower your blood pressure.
Do they really?
Yeah.
This is why I'm so chilled,
Yeah.
as you can
This
see.
is why he's so relaxed.
I'm laid back, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one taste that can transport you back to somewhere, good or bad?
So in Ireland, they have a thing called soda bread.
Yes.
So if I was to have soda bread with loads of butter on, like my mum used to give us in between coming home from school and having tea, as we call it, not dinner, that would remind me of growing up. So soda bread and a real builder's cup of tea. That would be my thing. Yeah.
Oh, Noel, thank you so much for coming over.
It's been a pleasure.
And
Thank you very
chatting.
much. Thank you
And
very
good
much.
luck with the album. It's beautiful.
Come and see us. I'm playing.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you playing in London?
I'm doing open airs in the summer, playing at Crystal Palace.
Oh, nice.
Oh, around the corner.
Yeah, and then I'm doing the arenas in the winter. I'm playing at Wembley Arena. So anyone.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming.
No worries.
You're very handsome.
Oh, here we go.
I just wanted to tell you, I'm not going to slip off, but you are very handsome, and you've got gorgeous blue
on,
eyes.
Sally.
Telling you now. I'll give you my number in a bit when your daughter's gone.
You won't be living on your own anymore, like Noel.
We'll get you backstage.
Oh, God. Okay, get out of my fucking house. Oh, Noel Gallagher, rock and roll star.
He was so rock and roll, Jess.
I felt like you gave him a good run for his money.
Did I?
Yeah. Did you enjoy him?
I thought he was fabulous. I really enjoyed listening to him. I had not realised what a complete artist he is, really, and his devotion to music and songwriting.
I think it's really rare to be able to have like an artist that is like the romance.
Authentic.
Yeah. He's proper. Absolutely loved having Noel on. Thank you so much. What and brilliant anecdotes.
Just fab. Loved him.
Oh, my son's come through the door. You just missed a rock and roll star,
singing.
son. I'm gonna scatter the guitars and the pianos around, and then
So that he'll learn
so
to
I get a
play.
don't look back and then go in the house.
He was just fab.
Loved it. Thank you, Noel. Good luck
I think
with the
he
record.
really meant that we could go to his show.
Yes, Mum.
Going.
Good luck with the record. Good luck with touring. You can catch him throughout the summer. If you're listening in America, he's on tour with Garbage very soon. But I think I'll be at the Withenshaw Park one. Or Crystal Palace. That's nearer to me. Anyway, check it out. Council Skies is out on the 2nd of June. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.